I am here to talk to you about how to prepare your autistic child to fly alone. And I'd like to introduce you to my son. This is Chris. He is not really a child. How old are you?
20.
He's 20, so he's still my child, but he's kind of a young adult now. But guess what? He has flown alone, and I'd like to share with you what we have found that works for us for Chris, so he can fly alone. And the reason he needs to do that is that we live across the country from the rest of his family. And for him to be able to see them on a regular basis, he's got to be able to fly up there. So a couple of years ago, we looked into it, tried to figure out if that was possible, and we found a solution to make it work for us. So the first thing we always do is get a direct flight. We never have a layover or anything like that, and because that would not work very well for Chris. Do you think having a direct flight is the best way for you to go?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
So the plane doesn't have to stop.
Perfect. Yeah. So we always get a direct flight, always. Um, the other thing I found that was really helpful is, and I didn't know that I could do this, was I was able to get a pass through security even though I wasn't flying. So when Chris flies, we both go through security, and I'm able to take him to the gate, and he doesn't have to navigate that on his own. So when we go through security, we both go, and Chris understands, to take your shoes off, right, Chris? And put your stuff in the bucket, and he goes through security.
Wait, shoes too.
And shoes too, right? Shoes too. And I help him through that, so he doesn't have to do that on his own. And then when we get to the gate, we generally ask if Chris can board by himself with the help of one of the flight attendants. And they are always so helpful to do that. And although I know, Chris, you could probably find your own seat. Do you think you could find your own seat if you knew the seat number? Yeah, it's just helpful to have someone kind of help him, because although he can do it, it's very overwhelming with all the noise and the people and stuff. So we have found it helpful that somebody will help him find his seat. And then he's good to go. He's on the seat, he's in his seat, he's ready to fly, and then what do you do?
Hmm.
Do you bring things to do?
Yeah, but we have to wait until they say over the intercom you can bring out your electronics or.
That's right. You cannot watch a movie or play a game until the pilot says okay, right?
Like maybe in like halfway into the air,
Okay,
but
halfway.
not like uh when we take off into the sky.
That's right. That's right. And so you know that you just wait, and then you have all the stuff you brought to do, so you're not bored.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. And so he flies, and then he lands, and then whatever family member is meeting him can also get a pass to the gate and meet him right there when the plane lands. And so basically, we help him on. He sits and does his stuff, and then somebody's there to help him off, and it has worked great for us. I will have to say that Chris had flown a number of times before he did it on his own, so he knew what flying was about, and found that it was not that hard of a transition to fly by himself. The other thing that we do that helps is we have a prescription that helps Chris kind of stay calm, not because he would get overwhelmed to the point of not being able to go, but because it just makes it a little bit more enjoyable for him. So that's just something we do. It might not be for everybody, but we do get some medication to help him through the whole thing. And then he gets to fly, and he gets to see his family, and he gets some independence, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So I hope that helps you maybe prepare your autistic child to fly alone. Anything you want to add about flying alone, Chris, that might be an encouragement to anybody else? Is it fun?
Um, it would take some time if you haven't did it before. It takes some time.
To get used to it. Yeah, and it's not for everybody, and it's certainly not always for people who are a lot younger. But again, Chris was probably 18, maybe, when you did it the first time. You were, yeah, young adult, I think. So, but I hope that's an encouragement to you. We found it works really well for us, and we found that the airlines are really helpful if they know what's going on. So again, call your airline, find out what they can do to help you. But Chris has done it, and we're proud of him, and I'm sure your child can find a way to do it too. So thanks for listening.